gathering here today. This is not something that we did out of our own goodness. It's not something that we give ourselves credit for, coming to the masjid. This, wallahi billahi, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is something Allah wanted to happen, and this is why it happened. The reason every single one of us is here right now, sitting in the masjid, is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose us to be here in the masjid. Okay? This is not an accident. This is something that is decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Muslims, we believe, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He decreed, or He wrote everything, that's going to happen till the Day of Judgment. So this was already written. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the pen, write, and it wrote was going to happen at that time till the end of the Day of Judgment, till the end, So this was already, this was something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this was something that was preordained. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted it to happen, therefore it had happened. So this is a great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The masjid is Baytullah, it's the house of Allah. When you invite someone to your house, you're not just going to invite anyone, are you? You're going to invite someone that you love, that you like, Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited you to His house today. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invites people that He loves. So this is a great blessing. And we have to say Alhamdulillah, we have to give shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can increase us in more goodness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, if you وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Allah says, if you are grateful to me, I will increase you in goodness. So whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you a ni'mah, you don't just say, oh man, alhamdulillah, I'm blessed, and that's it. Nowadays that's what we do. When something good happens to us, we post it on Facebook, we say, oh alhamdulillah, I'm blessed. I'm the most blessed person. But that's not a real shukr, that's not a sincere gratefulness. In Islam, what it means to be grateful is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you something, you say alhamdulillah, first of all with your tongue, you are grateful with your heart. In your heart, you're like, well, alhamdulillah, this is, I can't lose this. You're very happy about it. And then thirdly, you act upon it. You do more deeds to prove this gratefulness. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, talks about the Prophet, إِنَّهُ كَانَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا, it's because of the acts they would do afterwards. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them a bounty, a ni'mah, right after it, they will follow with one of their best deeds. And that's what we have to do. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us something, when Allah opens a door for us, we have to we have to go in that door, and we have to look for more for more doors. See, I was listening to this one sheikh, and this one sheikh, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, each individual, He will open a door of khair for him. Some people will close that door for themselves. They will not enter it. They don't want it. Allah will give them an opportunity to do khair, to do good, but they themselves, they don't want to do it. So once they close that door for themselves, then that door is going to be closed. That's it. Allah's not going to give them more chances. Maybe Allah might give them another chance, but Allah may not also give them another chance. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him opens the door of khair for him, and he takes it and he goes in that door, Allah will open more doors of khair. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you something, don't ask, why me? Am I special? Don't ask it. Just take it and run with it. Say alhamdulillah, and work harder. That was. I just want to, inshallah, tonight. We're going to give a reminder, like we always do. Alhamdulillah, this program is something we've been running for the. We started probably like 5 months ago or something. We also do itikafs every month. We go around the masjids. 1 month we might do it at Furqan. Another month we might do it at Abu Bakr. Another month we might do it at Sabr. Usually we like to rent or get a gym, in the morning, and have the kids also play basketball. And this is a halaqqa that we do every Friday for the brothers, that are not aware of this, program. Every Friday we like to come together, play basketball together, and then come here and remind each other, and so we may benefit, And now, another thing we want to add to this program is we were supposed to do today, but we didn't do today. Is we want to start visiting brothers. Before we meet up at Asr time, before we go to the basketball court, we knock on some doors, or we go to the spots that the brothers hang around, and we invite them to chill with us, to play basketball with us, and then inshallah to come to the masjid. And even sometimes usually we have tea and stuff like that, tea or food or something like that. But inshallah, this is But since Ramadan came, we stopped, and this is the first week that we're bringing it back. And inshallah, every Friday, that's what we plan on doing, is having halakas. So let's all try to come and benefit from it. My topic, today, and what we do is every week we have a different brother. We designate a brother to give us a reminder. We all need reminders. So this week it might be me, next week it might be Muhammad, next week, Mukhtar, we all want to give each other reminders, So, and also, it's not a big deal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَى تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And that's what I actually wanted to talk about today, Wallahi, the other day I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I wish I had people who reminded me. Sometimes, wallahi, we get so, busy with dunya. Or, sometimes we become so comfortable with each other, we feel like we can't tell each other certain things, Let's ask each other, when was the last time we told someone to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or when was the last time someone came up to you and said, Akhi, ittaqillah. Today, if you say that to someone, he's going to fight with you. What do you mean, ittaqillah? I already fear. No, you can't tell me this. You think you're better than me? Well, the Sahaba wasn't like that. The Sahaba, they would come, they would say, Assalamu alaikum, and then they start reading Surah Al-Asr. Wal-Asr, inna al-insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat, wa tawasaw bil-haqq wa tawasaw bis-sabr, while they're holding each other's hands. And then the other one, he would take, he would admonish from that. He would be like, he would be so grateful that this brother reminded him of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is how we have to be. We have to develop this characteristics that, first of all, we don't get offended when someone reminds us about the deen or reminds us about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second, we have to remind each other. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَى تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. He said, remind, for the reminder will benefit the believers. Allah did not say it will benefit, mankind in general. He didn't say it's going to benefit, the kuffar. He said specifically it will benefit the believers. Because the believers are the ones who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But at the same time, we're human beings. We forget. We're insan. That's where the word insan comes from. It comes from nasya. We forget. Our iman decreases. As the brother was giving the khutbah today, he talked about iman, it increases and it decreases. We're human beings. Our iman is going to increase. If we're not doing good things, or if we're not being reminded of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our iman is going to fall. So we need each other to remind each other. We need someone to tell us, ittaqillah akhi. And this is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made this ummah the best ummah. يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. This is going to be, in Jannah, this ummah is going to be the most. And this is the best ummah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. Allah, He said, this nation is the best nation that has been brought forth, to mankind. The nation of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah said is the best nation that has ever been brought out for mankind. Why? تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. They recommend each other to good and they forbid the evil. This was the job of the Anbiya. This was the job of the prophets. This is what the prophets used to do. But since there's no more prophet or messenger after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this task, this responsibility has been placed on us, the members of the ummah. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made us the best nation, because we have this responsibility and this job that the prophets used to have. They used to recommend each other to good, they used to remind each other to good, and they used to forbid the evil. So my dear respected brothers, wallahi, we live in a society, we have to be realistic with ourselves. We have to be real with ourselves. We have to sit down with ourselves and reflect upon life. We have to reflect on where we're headed. We cannot live in a state of ghafla. We cannot. Ghafla means in a state of forgetfulness. Allah talks about it a lot in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Allah. He says that disbelievers are in the state of ghafla. Ghafla is a state of just not being aware and not even wanting to think about Akhira. You have to be real with yourself. You have to sit down with yourself. This is what you have to sit down. You have to ask yourself, where am I headed? We're in this dunya. Who brought us to this dunya? Did we choose to come to this world? Was there ever a point in time where I said, I think I want to go into Dunya. I think I'm ready. I want to try this Dunya. I want to go into Dunya. There was never a time, a point in time where we made this decision. We just came into it. Allah brought us into this world. And just like that, Allah is going to take us out. Can any one of us right here today say, I know exactly when I'm going to die? I know exactly how I'm going to leave this world. None of us can say that. These are signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown us, you came into this world and you're going to leave this world. This world is a test. That's what it is. This world is a test. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. This is the reason Allah created us, to test us, which of us is going to be best indeed. This is the test of life. This is the reality of life. We gotta get out of this bubble. We're trying to fool ourselves. That's what we're doing. We're fooling ourselves. Oh man, I got time. Akhi, there was a brother 2 Ramadans ago. He was praying with me in Ramadan. I was seeing him. Not even a month, this brother passed away. He was 21 years old. He was fit, healthy. He played football. He had a whole life ahead of him. He was going to a nice school, preparing a nice degree. This is the reality. This is the reality of this life. Our main goal should be, okay, when I leave this world, let's accept this. Let's accept, I'm going to leave this world. But at least if I'm going to leave this world, let me leave while I succeed. Let me leave while my Lord is pleased with me and I am pleased with Him. Not let me leave this world when I don't even want to be taken out from this world. That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the disbelievers. When the angel of death comes to take their souls, they cling onto it. They don't want to go, they don't want to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah doesn't want to meet them. But the believer, they want to meet Allah, and Allah wants to meet them. So my dear respected brothers, let's be real with ourselves. Let's do something that's called Iman check. Let's check our Iman. Let's always, check ourselves, Let's not worry about checking other people. Let's worry about checking ourselves. Let's check our hearts. This is the priority. Me, nafsi, nafsi. On the day of judgment, the humanity will go to all the prophets. We'll go to Adam. We'll go to all the prophets and we'll tell them, we'll ask them, can you ask your Lord to start the day of judgment? Each prophet will say, nafsi, nafsi. Today I have my own problems, And this is how our mentality and this is how our state should be, We should always think about ourselves. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Allah says, O you who believe, save yourself and your families from the hellfire. Our job is not to change hearts. We cannot do that. I cannot go up to someone and say, Akhi, you're going to the masjid with me. I cannot drag them to the masjid. Or I cannot say, you're going to pray. No. Even the Prophet ﷺ, his job wasn't that. Even the Prophet ﷺ, couldn't, guide his own relatives. Allah says, you can't even guide the ones, who you love. Only Allah guides. But our job is to convey the message. To convey the message. That's our job. Akhi, ittaqillah, come to the masjid. That's it. I did my job. So we have to take these, wallahi, we have to take this, responsibility seriously. We're getting older, we're getting more mature, we need to first, we need to sit with ourselves, just have, reality check, where am I going, what have I done, what do I want from this life? Just, sit down with yourself one day and do this, just think to yourself, and then make a decision, Do you want to go to the hellfire or do you want to go to Jannah? That's simple. Do you want to go to the paradise which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to the believers? There's no, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most truthful of promises. It's not me, I'm not promising you guys this, It's not another human being promising you guys this. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promising us. Who's more truthful than Allah in His promise? Allah says, paradise, which تجري من تحتها الأنهار, which underneath it runs, rivers. You have palaces. You will be wearing nice silky clothes. All this stuff. Do you want that, or do you want the hellfire, which Allah also talks about in the Quran? which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the people of the hellfire, their food is going to be boiling water. And they're not going to be drinking to quench their thirst. But they're going to be drinking because they have no choice, and that's their adab. They're going to be eating min shajarat az-zaqum, ta'am al-athim. A shajar az-zaqum is a tree that grows from the lowest part of the hellfire. And Allah says, it's fruit or it's sprout. It's like the heads of shayateen. كأنه رؤوس shayateen. And when you eat it, it's gonna be, it's like, imagine eating spikes, ball of spikes, it's just gonna be tearing your intestines. This is the hellfire. Wallahi, akhis, ikhwans, this is the reality. This is the reality that every single one of us is gonna face. Wallahi, as I speak right now at this very moment, there are people right now in the graves who are seeing this reality. They're wishing, they're wishing they had a chance to come back. They're wishing they were in your spot right now, me, you, all of us, so they can just play one more salat, or they can just do one more dhikr. Wallahi, my dear respected brothers, this is the reality. I was reading the other day, Hassan al-Basri, he was standing next to a man. He said, what would you, he was standing next to a man, they were at the graveyard. He said, what would you tell this man, if you had a chance to talk to him? He said, I would tell him, pray salat. I would tell him, he said, what would you tell this man if he had a chance to come back to dunya? He said, I would tell him to pray salat, I would tell him to do dhikr, I would tell him to do this, that. He said, you are in his spot right now. You do all that stuff. Do that stuff right now. Wallahi, this is the time. We're all weak. Don't be fooled by, if a brother has a beard, or if a brother, wears thobe, or every single one of us has his own problems. Every single one of us is being tested. Don't be fooled. Don't think, oh man, wallahi, these brothers, mashallah, they're so good. Yeah, they're doing good. Akhi, only Allah knows what's in the hearts. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might love someone, that nobody knows about, more than someone that everyone knows about. That was the reality of one of the Sahabas. His name was Awais al-Qarni. No one knew about him. Even his own people didn't know about him. But the Prophet ﷺ, and he never even seen the Prophet ﷺ. But the Prophet ﷺ said, if this man, he said to Umar ibn Khattab, he didn't say to some other people. He said it to the greatest Sahabas. He said to the people like Umar ibn Khattab and Abu Bakr, he said, if you guys see this man, if you meet him in your lifetime, ask him to make dua for you. What made this man so special? It's what he had in his heart, So every person, wallahi, you just got to dig deep in your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. We're going to return to Allah. This life is a test. We got to realize this life for what it is. إنما هذه الدنيا إنما هذه حياة الدنيا متاع وإن الآخرة هي الدار القرار. There was a man from the people of Fir'aun, he was a believer, and that's what he said to his people. He said, for my people, this life is a temporary, it's temporary. Just look at this life, my brothers. Let's look at this life. Everything that's pleasure that we do in this life is temporary. The kuffars, okay, they drink, they get drunk, it's temporary. They're happy for a little bit, then after that, it's followed by, headaches and all that stuff. You blow, you smoke, you get high, you're happy for a little bit, then after that it leaves you. All these little, dunya, every pleasure, women, all that stuff, it's temporary. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about this dunya. It's temporary. But the paradise, in al-akhirah, hiya darul qarar. The paradise is forever and everlasting. Okay? In paradise, people, they're not going to eat to satisfy their hunger. They're going to eat out of pleasure. You're going to take a bite out of an apple, or a fruit of Jannah, in Jannah. You're going to take a bite, and then you're going to take another bite. Every bite you take is going to be better than the last one. You're going to taste something that every single bite you take is going to be something you've never tasted before. It's just going to get better and better in paradise. Imagine that. So, are we fools then to prefer this dunya over the paradise? We really gotta, we gotta sit down with ourselves and really think, we gotta prioritize, This dunya, we've seen this dunya. You see it every day, you know. So we gotta take this dunya for what it is, you know, and we have to remind each other, you know, wallahi brothers, we have to remind each other. This is, if we don't remind each other, then we're all gonna be, we're all gonna, be in a state of ghafla, So inshallah, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me if I made any mistakes. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, any good I said is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I ask Allah to make us stronger in our iman. I ask Allah to, bring us closer to the masjid. I'll ask Allah to make us of those